When an accident occurs and we go ahead to do our investigations, after the investigation, we do recommendations, and these recommendations, as I said, are not to apportion blames or for any criminal liabilities. We do that so that we correct, so that we don't have any future occurrences, and that is why you don't often see aircraft accidents. They are flying every minute in Ghana, but because of the recommendations that we do, that is why they correct all the mistakes that might have happened. Then that is where we don't have the we don't incur, or we don't happen to see more accidents happening. And so when we finish with our investigation and we give the recommendation, we follow up to make sure that they implement it, because the reason why we do the investigation is to correct whatever might have happened. And so we follow religiously to make sure that these things are implemented for next safety. Then the other question is about the scope. Normally, investigation, you wouldn't, like I told you, we have our standards that we follow. And the protocols and the standard we follow, you know, we use them when we start the investigation. We will not be able to say, oh, we do this, we do this. So we are using those protocols and the standard to do the investigation. So we will not be able to tell you that this is the scope.
My second question also, I have about 3 questions, but if time permits, then I'll ask all. My second question got to do with the fact that even though the aircraft which was deployed, the Z9 that we've been invited to help with the investigation, it belongs to the Ghana Armed Forces, and you don't have any oversight with regards to that. Do you think that there were some issues? I mean, based on your preliminary investigations, have you identified some factors that may have contributed to this? Because we've seen some journalists speculating, some even attributing it to the strike.
I like the word speculating. We are professionals. We don't speculate. What we do is that when there's an occurrence, we go to the field. We use evidence-based. Like I told you how we collect. We first collect the factual information. Based on that, we verify the data we have. And it is only after then that we will know what happened. And so we don't speculate. We don't know what happened. It is an accident. And so we go in as investigators to investigate and come out with a finding. But for now, we don't have any reason, or we don't have any information about what happened.
Have there ever been a time that when you want to implement some of the recommendations from various reports that you had issues with regards to our aviation sector in the country, maybe logistical issues or certain things prevented us from implementing certain policies?
No, we haven't had any.
Thank you. Any more?
My name is Josh Green, I work at TV3. So plans are far advanced in acquiring Ghana's national airline after several failed attempts. And if you're supposed to have a meeting with the task force, which has Dr. Joyce Bukhtari as one of the members, how will the conversation go like?
Yes, so if I got your question well, you want to know what? Come again with the question.
Okay, so plans are far advanced in,
yes.
So there's a task force that has been disputed. Joyce Bukhtari is one of the members. I'm saying if you're supposed to have a meeting with the task force, what would the direction be like, your conversation?
For that one, respectfully, we have a very competent group that is tasked to do this job. And so they will do the job very well for us. We don't have any reason to doubt anything. So we think that they will do the job very well.
Because I'm asking this because I don't think we've ever had an accident. Ghana Airways, we've not had any accident before. So if we want to go on that trajectory.
Yeah, so that's what I told you. We don't ask them because we do work behind. And we do safety protocol very well. That's why we don't have those accidents. Yes.
We take in the last questions because.
Oh, no. No, allow.
Okay.
Please, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Martin. I work for Daily Graphic. After the Obuasi accident, it appears that most Ghanaians are, it's like they are
are afraid of when they see helicopter, they start shouting and all that. How on your prevention aspect that you spoke about, how will you allay the fears that the authority or agency is in the right place to ensure that this prevention that you spoke about, that you've been doing it, and that's the reason why we don't see accidents often, that we won't be seeing helicopters flying or coming down just like what happened with the military. I'm not talking about the military,
Sure.
I'm talking about private
Yes.
helicopters.
So, thank you very much. I went for a meeting and somebody heard I was the commissioner of AIB. He came to me and said, oh, I wanted to travel, but what happened? I'm afraid to sit in an aircraft. So you are right with your question. You see, I want you people, distinguished ladies and gentlemen like you, please help us send this message to people. Before an aircraft moves, it is not a child play. What goes into an aircraft to move is not a child play. And so when you get on board and it is moving, be rest assured, you have 99.999% to get to your destination. We want to continue to encourage the Ghanaian public that when they see an aircraft coming, they should be afraid. It will not fall on them. Everything is done. If we identify, like I said, with our prevention, anytime we cite any warning signs, we put measure to it. And so it is very safe. Our airspace are safe. And as we speak, Ghana has an audit, and we had a score of 89.89% of safety in Ghana. And so our airspace are very safe. Our aircraft, before they move, everything is safe. And so dispel the fears, allay the fears from the general public that they can travel. And that is another thing we want to do more. We want to do more of education. We want you people to help us. And we'll be calling you very often to help us let the public know that it is safe. And Ghana Civil Aviation and all the industrial players, we are doing our work to keep the airspace very safe. Thank you.